Yo, what is going on, guys? Listen, welcome back, man. So I already told you guys I'm a big My Hero Academia fan, alright? You know your boy's a big My Hero Academia fan. So I don't even gotta tell you that anymore. But what I do gotta tell you is it's been a long ass week for me. Now granted, last week we got episode 1 of the new season, and this week we finally got episode 2, and your boy was hyped for it. Now, the reason I was hyped wasn't just because we got episode 2, but because I knew it was the start of the UA Sports Festival. Last week we found out what kind of a big deal it is. Not only the fact that, all the top heroes are going to be watching, but it's damn near the biggest event in the nation, so we know how huge it's going to be. Well, we get episode 2, and it starts off by basically having All Might put all of the pressure on Deku. He basically goes on and tells Deku, I want you to announce to the world that I have arrived, that I am here. Now, honestly, we know what he means by that. All Might is on the clock, man. He doesn't have a lot of time. Obviously, he passed his quirk on to Deku, and he's getting weaker and weaker as the days go by. Good evidence of that is his fight against Nomu, He said it took 300 blows to finish that thing off, whereas back in the day, it would have only taken him 5. I mean, that is a huge difference, man. That is a huge difference. So she tells Deku that he basically wants him to announce his arrival to the world. And when he says that, he doesn't mean he wants Midoriya to go and grab a microphone and say, hey y'all, I'm Deku, I'm here. No, that's not what he's talking about. What he's saying is he wants Deku to go out there and perform so well that people question, like, who is this kid? Where did this kid come from? Holy shit, this kid is a badass, So I thought that was pretty cool, but at the same time, that's a lot of stress on young Deku. Because when you think about it, man, you gotta take into account that Deku cannot control his quirk yet. Granted, he's getting better, but at the same time, he is still getting pretty messed up every time he uses One For All. So now he's got to go out here and he's got to perform well, and he might not even be able to use his powers. So that's going to be a lot of stress. Now, speaking of everything that happened with Nomu, we know that the 1A kids have been through a lot. Obviously, they've had their training, but this group of kids specifically have already had an encounter with villains, which, obviously they made it through all right. But for the most part, that turned into a crazy-ass experience for them because it was something that's way out of the norm and something that they really weren't ready for. But because they kind of got that experience, they got a little extra push where some of the other classes didn't get that. Now, because of that, they had other classes stopping by their class to kind of scope out the competition a little bit, Because granted, even if the other classes aren't in class 1A, they still want to compete and get some shine from the top heroes. They still want to get some looks their way. So they got to know what is so special about these 1A kids. Now, what I love about this part is, like, Bakugo is just being Bakugo, Bakugo, he doesn't give a damn if you're the president. He doesn't give a damn if you're important or if you're Joe Blow. He's going to be who he is. So he's basically disrespecting these other classes, and these kids are kind of taking it the wrong way. Now, the thing that sucks about it is that when Bakugo does this, he's not just representing himself. He's representing his entire class. So his class is like, yo, Bakugo, man, shut the hell up, man. What are you doing, dude? We got to go against these guys soon. But Bakugo makes a good point. When you want to be number 1, doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter if they like you or it doesn't matter if they're gunning for you. If you want to be number 1, you're going to have to go against those guys anyway, and you're going to have to overcome those guys anyway. So I kind of love what he did there. Now, another interesting part that we got in this episode was that Todoroki kind of declared war on Deku, He goes and he pulls Deku aside. He says, let me talk to you. Well, actually, he doesn't even pull him aside. He just goes up and says, hey, Midoriya, let me holler at you. So he's talking to him, and he says, basically, I noticed that All Might has been giving you recognition, I don't care about any of that. I don't want to get into your business as to why that is, but I want you to know that regardless of the attention that you're getting from All Might, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to take you out. I think in my heart that I'm stronger than you. I know that I'm stronger than you, and I don't care who's looking at you. I'm going to take you down. So, Deku's like, where the fuck did that come from? But Deku wants to be number 1 too, So instead of just taking it like he usually would, he pretty much goes back at Todoroki and he says, I know that I do agree that you're stronger than me, but you gotta understand I got my own goals too, and I'm going to take you down as well. So you kind of get that out of nowhere competition between Deku and Todoroki, which if you think about it, it's really good for Deku. Granted, obviously we know Todoroki's a badass. We've seen everything that he could do, and he actually is so freaking badass that he didn't even have to go through the entrance exam. He got in on a recommendation, so he got to bypass all that. And everything that you've seen from him so far shows you that he is that dude, like he is one you need to watch out for. Now, if you don't have enough evidence of Todoroki's awesomeness, you gotta remember, he saved All Might in the fight against the Nomu, alright? Because All Might, they had him pinned down, they were sucking him into the warp gate, they were basically putting a squeeze on his weak spot, and Todoroki froze him and saved him. So, I mean, this is a guy who was running around taking out villains who have years upon years of more experience than him. And I mean, he's just a kid in high school and he's just taking these villains out easily. So, you know, he's actually one you got to watch out for. So now with that out of the way, the festival finally gets underway and we kind of get the rated R hero, so to speak, named Midnight. She gives a speech. She basically talks about fairness and this and that, and she calls the class representative up, which for Class 1A is Bakugo because he placed first in the entrance exam. So as Bakugo grabs the mic, you just know he's going to Bakugo it up, alright? You know Bakugo is brash, doesn't give a damn about what he says, and you know he's just going to go up there and run his mouth. So basically she wants Bakugo to give a speech about being fair and doing the right thing and you know, just being a good sportsman. Bakugo grabs the mic, he goes up there and he basically says, I'm going to be number one. Now, when he does that, he paints a huge ass target on his back. But at the same time, man, you gotta kind of respect that, man. Like, Bakugo is not here to play games, alright? He ain't here to make friends. He ain't here to sing Kumbaya and do macaroni art and none of that. He's trying to be the number one hero. Whether he's got to take out Deku, Todoroki, All Might, or anybody from the other classes. So for him to have to go up there and pretend to be like all cool and stuff, it's not Bakugo style. You know how he is. You know you should have expected something crazy, and he delivered, alright? So as he does that, you know, you get all these boos from the crowd and all these boos from the other classes, and I'm just like, man, I love this kid. He's crazy, he's nuts, and I absolutely love it. So as this thing gets underway, you figure out that the first event is going to be an obstacle course. Right off the bat, you know, right off the bat, they're making sure that all the classes compete. They do this by putting basically a narrow-ass hallway which forces all the kids to kind of have to squeeze through. So it's kind of sifting them in a way to whereas the strongest ones will get through, while the weaker ones will still be stuck in that tunnel trying to fight to get through. So that just shows you how cutthroat this thing actually is, alright? So obviously some of the top kids from Class 1A, they get through easily, but none gets through more easily than Todoroki. Todoroki, obviously that ice power is not something to be trifled with, and he basically he not only freezes a path for himself, but he freezes everything behind him so that anyone trying to pursue him or anyone trying to catch up basically slips and falls and busts their ass. So I thought that was pretty dope. Now, even though Todoroki was able to do that, you still got some of the top kids from 1A on his butt. So you got Bakugo, who's using his explosions to basically propel himself. Then you kind of got Yaoyorozu, who's using her quirks to keep up with him. So it just goes to show you, like, these kids are used to overcoming these obstacles, even if it's not something that they should be used to because of how untraditional that their courses have been so far. All in all, I love the episode. I can't really wait to get into this tournament a little more. Obviously, I read the manga, so I know some of the things that's coming up, and I guarantee you guys are absolutely going to love this. I think one good thing about this tournament is that you kind of find out who has what. You know, you kind of find out who has what kind of heart. You kind of find out who has what kind of quirks. And this is one of those arcs where everyone gets separated, and you kind of get to learn a little more about characters that you didn't know before. So I think you guys are definitely going to enjoy it. I wish this thing would hurry up and like really get to the meat and potatoes. But understand there's an order to things. There's a progress, or not progress. There's a process. So you just kind of got to let it play out how it's supposed to. But man, I am getting impatient. I really just want this thing to get after it. But you know, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Other than that, that's going to do it for the review. Hopefully you enjoyed this review as well. So go ahead and leave me a thumbs up because your boy definitely appreciates it. It lets me know that I'm doing something right, and it makes me feel good inside. You know, when I go to sleep and stuff, I look at my views and I look at my likes. I'm like, oh shit, I got an extra like. I can do my little bounce and stuff. It feels good. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm so close to 350 subs. I'm getting excited about it, and I'm actually starting to put the video together to kind of celebrate that. So make sure you're a part of that. Also, there's going to be a giveaway at 350, so definitely make sure you're a part of that. Other than that, guys, that's going to do it. I'm your boy, ACB2. Do great, be great. I will catch you guys in the next video, man, alright? Peace!